Good morning and welcome to Baslow Edge. I wasn't planning on being here this morning, but I just got the urge as I was driving through the peak to come here, see my old friends, the Highland Cows. So I'm just heading up to them now. I was hoping there might be either fog or at least a decent sunrise, either one. I'm getting neither. So I figured there's no shots really today that are going to work out fantastic unless I can drive into the fog, which may happen when I go on the second leg of this journey, and then maybe I'll get lucky. But for now, I'm just going to see the cows. Breakfast time for the Highland Cows at the moment, so I'm going to let them get on with what they're doing. Not going to interrupt them. There's a couple of folks dropped off here, split away, obviously full. So I'm going to see if we can get some interesting shots with these guys, if they're up for it. Okay, so I just put on the 50mm because one of the lads was right in front of me. And unlike trees and hills and stuff, these move. And well, they're just halfway up the field now. so now I'm going to switch to my 7200, which I haven't had out for ages, so it's about time. Just to give you a quick recce as time has moved on a bit. So as you can see, some of the cows are still eating there, and there is a line of sun. It's not great. I don't think, this is the sunrise and it's already unimpressive. A few of the cows have broke away. The ones right in the distance there, that was the one stood next to me, waiting patiently for me to get my ass in gear, and then literally as soon as I got the camera on the lens, it started walking. So, I'm no wildlife photographer, and these don't move fast, which is good, but they do move. So the 7200 is going to be ideal because I can adjust the focal length as required, and it'll also give me a pretty decent shot depending on how I want the background, that depth of field. The 50mm really, it's not going to cut it with these guys. They move. What can I say? Move. Okay, first things first for this shot, or these shots, you'll notice I've got down low to the ground. This is not rocket science. It's quite simply just the same as taking pictures of dogs. You want to try and get down to the eye level of the thing you're shooting. And also the added bonus is I might catch that bit of sun as well, maybe get an interesting effect from that. So that's where we're going with this. I'm going to move the camera along a bit. Reason being, just there is a sticky out clump of grass, and it's just going to get in the way, and you could Photoshop it out, but who wants to spend an hour on Photoshop removing blades of grass? So I'm just going to move over to a clearer spot. As far as settings go, it is the same as photographing a tree. Get your light right, challenge your depth of field. Do you want it soft at the back? Do you want it out of focus? Do you want to get it sharp? So for example, taking in the trees at the back. But there is one difference with shooting things like this. Shutter, normally it's just single shot, boom. Probably got a 2-second delay on there just to keep it steady, but when you're photographing something that's moving like this, and the movement or the position that it's in after the move is important. So for example, Doris there, if she's got a big clump of hay from the cart, then I'm probably going to want to catch that. So rapid shot, multi-shot, that's what you want to go for. Just get it tuned in and click, 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 click. And I'm going to get a bunch of shots as she's reaching for the hay, takes the hay, and I can run through in Lightroom, then decide which one I like the look of. Composition wise, again, they're just mobile trees, which gives you bonuses really. Just don't shoot them out in a boring flat empty scene. Try and get something of the landscape in there, rocks, trees, that kind of thing, and you're still looking for the same stuff. You're still looking for balance, or using your rule of thirds or golden spiral, whatever you want to do. I tend to just think if my eye says it's nice, then odds are it's probably working. That's why I don't use histograms. Either the light is wrong or it isn't, you know. I think you should be able to detect with the naked eye whether something is too bright, and at the end of the day you can, once your shot's taken, say okay, well, I can see that the little ants are running around that bit is a bit too bright. But I think having a histogram on your screen while you're working is nothing but just annoying to me. But fair play to people who use them, you know. You're technically more advanced than me, that's for sure, but yeah, I just shoot a picture. If it doesn't look right, I shoot it again. I know this is a bit of a breakaway from my usual landscape stuff, and I hope you approve of it. I won't do this a lot, you know, but I think it's wise to explore other avenues with your photography, you know, lest repetition makes it stale. I'm sure that's unlikely, especially with the places that we landscape photographers go to, but you never know. So breaking it up, and just especially with guys like these, you know, with these cows, it's absolutely wonderful. And this prepares you as well. If you come and photograph these guys and you're out in the wild and you see a deer or a badger or something, you're better prepared to take a shot of that and maybe take advantage of that wonderful bit of nature. So hopefully you like that. Hopefully this isn't going to put you off. And so interesting compositions. Let's see what we've got. It's absolutely great that we've got this one line by this rock here, and I wouldn't want to get all this rock in, I think, because it would overpower the cow. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to try and get in here, maybe a square image there, just get the trunk of the tree, the beauty of the rock there, and then the cow does the rest of the work. Over there we have a chap who's just peeking over that clump of bramble, I think it is, and a bit of other various weeds and growth. But the bottom line is peeking over it, and with the 7200 I can get in real close on that, and that will look nice. Let's see how the ladies are doing over here. Still feeding. Still feeding. I just wanted to give you an example of how an image is going to be dull, even though it's got a beautiful subject there. Without some framing, it's not bad, and you know, people are going to give it loves and hugs on Instagram, but for you, I think you will demand more. So let's take a look at that with a bit more in it. If we take a look now, see we've got the tree there, rock there, cow here, and then we've also, because I've dropped down low, come down low again, we've got the silver birch at the back. So that just makes that a much more interesting shot, I think. Let's see how it looks. So I mentioned rapid shooting to make sure you capture them. Of course, they're moving, so your shutter speed's got to be higher. So if you're used to landscape photography and you don't usually have a fast shutter speed, that's got to go out the window. You're going to need it quick, because just a slight movement and you're going to lose it. Try and focus on their eyes, just as you would any portrait. And then, of course, just think about if that eye is moving, you're going to get a blurred image if your shutter speed isn't fast enough. Again, the multi shutter will help with that. Now, I do come to visit these guys quite a lot, and there's one thing I would hope people will always do, it's be respectful of them. And they are animals at the end of the day, and sometimes they're in calve, or sometimes they have calves. Sometimes they're just randy. Be respectful of your movement around them. Don't move too fast. Don't approach them if you can help it. I mean, they really don't want you barging up to them. So keep your distance. You'll figure it out. You'll know how close you can get without spooking them. And again, when you get close, don't move fast, because you will scare them. And if they bolt and the direction they bolt is you are going to be an anorak full of puree against a wall. I'm not kidding. Absolutely adorable. So I've got to get a photo. I don't think the background's going to matter so much. There is a nice bit of green and what do you call it, light brown at the back from those fields, and then they broke up by the wall, so that might actually work, but I'm going to use it at really shallow depth of field. So the detail of that background is absolutely unimportant, and instead we're going to go right down to f4, which is as good as the 7200 is going to do, and we'll try a shot with that. And then if this fellow is happy enough to just sit there and let me do this, I will switch to the 50mm prime and see if we can really get some cracking blurred depth of field on that. I just realised, knobhead as I am, that I had a high ISO on through a lot of that shoot. I was doing some faffing about at home, so I switched it up to like 1600. So anyway, I'm going back now to try and shoot a few of them again, but check, man. Check your settings. I normally spend more time up here, of course, but one of the places I shoot is the silver birch trees here. It's quite nice. As you go down into that area, there's some old buildings, crumbled buildings, lots of moss on walls, that kind of thing. Lovely landscape fodder. And then at the bottom there's quite a fast running brook / river / I don't know what it is, but it's some body of water, and you can get that in as well. So just a tip, coming to Baslow Edge to see the edge, see the cows, don't forget the silver birches, and also head down to the body of water. I've really got to learn the name of these things. Well, normally I'd be here for at least another hour, but I've got to go to work. Such is life. Can't afford the petrol for these jaunts if I don't go and do my bit for society. If you could like and share and subscribe and do all that funny stuff like ringing the little bell, that would be very much appreciated. It really helps me get this channel up in the algorithm so more people come and see the beauty of landscape photography and of the Peak District, and furthermore it will buy me a yacht.
That is one big pile of shit.
Who's he talking to?